Have humans possessed the ability to harness electrical power since the days of antiquity? Some would say no, pointing to a lack of evidence and scientific laws that seem to prevent such advancements in early civilizations. Others would point to intriguing relics like the Baghdad Battery, a collection of artifacts unearthed in the 1930s near Baghdad, Iraq. This is our channel, and today we are answering the extraordinary question: was the Baghdad Battery an ancient power source? In the Parthian or Sasanian period, sometime between the 2nd century BCE and the 3rd century CE, somewhere near Baghdad, Iraq, there existed a vast underground necropolis. This was a time when Mesopotamia was a land of riches and trade. It was also a time when great ziggurats pierced the clouds and temples dedicated to gods unknown teemed with worshippers. But it was also a time of darkness. The catacombs beneath the earth saw the burial of countless men, women, and children who perished in great plagues and wars. These burials were often accompanied by precious grave goods, things of beauty made of precious materials like gold, silver, ivory, and bronze. One day in the 1930s, German archaeologist Rudolf Cooper and his team descended into these catacombs to uncover more about those who had been laid to rest there so long ago. As they carefully excavated layer upon layer of history, they began finding some curious objects. Among the countless coins, bronze mirrors, and elegant glass vessels, they found a small number of clay jars buried alongside their dead. What made these jars so peculiar was that each contained an iron rod running through the center, plugged firmly in place with asphalt. After further excavation, the archaeologist uncovered copper cylinders that fit perfectly into the mouth of these jars. When put together, the vessels resembled nothing so much as an old-fashioned lightning rod. Today, 2 of these bizarre artifacts can be seen in Berlin at the Vorderasiatisches Museum. Each jar stands only 14 centimeters tall, with a diameter of 7 centimeters. On the outside, the ceramic is decorated with a geometric pattern, and a small raised foot keeps it aloft. There is something distinctly vase-like about them. Inside the belly of each jar lies a copper cylinder measuring 6 centimeters in length. The cylinder features a flared lip to match the neck of the jar. At first glance, the copper seems to have been hammered smooth, but a closer look reveals stamped images of Romapolus riding in a chariot drawn by 4 horses. The cylinder is also inscribed with a variety of cuneiform characters. To top it off, each jar is sealed with an asphalt plug firmly encasing an iron rod that extends downward from the cylinder. These 3 parts seem almost like a puzzle, but when combined, they fit together seamlessly, just as a cork fits into a bottle. This is not the only example of these artifacts either. Similar sets have been found in several places throughout the Middle East. However, all other examples are missing the iron rods. The total number of these artifacts discovered is difficult to verify. In the decades since their discovery, some have fallen into private hands, while others remain in various museums throughout the world. But scholars believe that as many as 200 may exist. When pieced together, the entire set becomes a sort of makeshift voltaic pile, an arrangement of stacked discs of different metals used to generate electricity. If we assume that the iron rods are still intact and hidden somewhere, it is reasonable to think that these objects once served as rudimentary batteries capable of producing a small amount of electric power. This is because in 1971, German engineer Dr. Wilhelm König proposed that if the addition of an electrolyte to the mix allowed a small voltage to be generated. According to this theory, the copper cylinder acts as the positive terminal, the iron rod as the negative terminal, and the space between them serves as the electrolyte. This created a rudimentary electrochemical cell that could produce a small electrical charge. Since then, several experiments have sought to replicate the results of Koenig's original research. In one experiment, a pair of French historians visited the Baghdad Museum to examine the artifacts. Using a special solution, they added an electrolyte to the jar and measured a voltage of 1 volts, enough to plate small metal objects. Another researcher was able to replicate these results using vinegar, salt water, or even grape juice as an electrolyte. One scientist conducted an experiment where he used a replica of the Baghdad Battery to plate thin sheets of copper. He was able to successfully plate up to 1/20th of a gram of copper per hour. This is a slow process, but it demonstrates that this technology could have been used for electroplating during the Parthian or Sasanian periods. If the ancient Mesopotamians were indeed utilizing this technology, it begs the question, how? How could such an advanced civilization have flourished in Mesopotamia? Was it possible that the ancients possessed technologies that we are only rediscovering today? Or is there a simpler explanation? One of the most compelling aspects of the Baghdad Battery is the fact that it was discovered in a necropolis. It was buried with people of importance who were clearly wealthy. The presence of these batteries in tombs suggests that they may have held some sort of significance in the afterlife. But what exactly did they power? There are three main theories regarding the function of the Baghdad Battery. The first theory is that they powered workshops where metal objects were electroplated. Electroplating is a process of depositing a thin layer of metal onto another material using an electric current. In the case of the Baghdad Battery, it is believed that a thin layer of silver or gold could be plated onto objects. While such plating might seem trivial today, in the ancient world, it would have been incredibly valuable. During the Parthian and Sasanian periods, silver and gold were highly prized materials. Being able to coat everyday objects in precious metals would have been a sign of wealth and power. If the Baghdad batteries were used for electroplating, it is possible that only the elite were aware of the technology. Another theory is that the batteries were used for medical purposes. This theory is based on the observation that the iron rod and copper cylinder are similar in composition to modern electrodes used in electrotherapy. Today, mild electrical currents are sometimes used to treat pain and inflammation. It is not out of the realm of possibility that the ancients may have used similar methods for religious reasons. The third theory is that the batteries were used in religious ceremonies or as temple tricks. Some researchers have suggested that the Baghdad batteries were used to make statues in the temples appear to move or glow. This would have been a spectacle to behold, and may have been part of a larger effort to inspire awe and wonder in the hearts of the faithful. Each of these theories has its merits, but unfortunately none have been proven. We may never know for sure how the Baghdad battery was used, or if it was even used at all. Not everyone is convinced that the artifacts are anything more than a simple storage vessel. There is no conclusive evidence that any type of electricity was being harnessed by ancient civilizations. While discoveries like the Baghdad battery are intriguing, they are also somewhat perplexing. Why would such advanced technology appear so early in human history and then disappear without a trace? Are these artifacts really batteries, or are they merely jars used for storing scrolls or other artifacts? In fact, similar jars have been found without the metallic inserts. Could the whole thing have been a misinterpretation on the part of the archaeologists? This is a difficult question to answer definitively. However, we do know that similar batteries have been found across the ancient world, from China to Greece. Perhaps there is more to these artifacts than meets the eye. Maybe they are relics of a long-lost technology, evidence of a past so advanced it has been forgotten. Or maybe they are nothing more than simple jars used for holding scrolls. We don't have all the answers, but we do know that the Baghdad battery is a fascinating mystery that will continue to baffle scientists and historians for years to come. It is a relic of the past that reminds us of how much we don't know about the ancient world. Now it's time to make your voice heard. Do you think the Baghdad Battery is a real ancient battery, or is there a simpler explanation? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more electrifying tales of antiquity. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching. Forgotten Chapters is brought to you by a team of historians and archaeologists. Our goal is to bring you the most intriguing archaeological discoveries and historical mysteries using stunning visuals and exciting storytelling. We've barely scratched the surface of what's to come. So join us on our journey to uncover the secrets of the past. You can help support our work by making a donation. Your support allows us to continue making these videos. So thank you for watching. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Forgotten Chapters.